We Gucci. Sound test, yes. Okay. Howdy, gang. Welcome back to Kingdom Come. It's been a while. I think probably 2 weeks. My schedule hasn't been very kind. It's been giving me like one day off, and then I worked the whole next week, and it was lame. It was lame, alright? I was not feeling nothing. Did play a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, though. I think I'm close to finishing it. Like, I might have your review for that next week. But, yeah, I don't know. You might end up talking about the drama first in this session, so we don't have to taint the otherwise probably pretty good review with that bullshit. What were we doing in this? Game of Throws? Right, we're doing the Amorous Adventures of Sir Hans. This guy's necklace back from that camp. We did a bunch of gambling. It was cool. You'll notice things look different on the webcam end. Changed the software because Logitech G Hub is ass, and last update literally broke it. It just crashed every time it launched. So we tried one of their other programs, because they have like 4 different programs to manage your fucking webcam settings. This one isn't going to interfere with my mic settings, so that's good. I didn't like how it was always overriding things, even if it did have some fun filters that I was never going to actually use. I built myself a new desk, so my monitor is not like sitting on an elevated platform anymore. It's a bit lower. So you should see with the webcam, it looks like I'm making eye contact with you more often, and you're not just staring at the top of my shiny head. Yeah, that was not intentional before, and honestly, I wanted to get rid of that standing platform for such a long time, because like, when the screen's above you like that, everything just looks a little darker. And this is like a much better viewing experience for me. Just have a little less space on the desktop, and I think I want to like get a mount or something for the back of the desk and like scooch the monitor back some. But, you know, for now, this isn't so bad. The desk itself is bigger, somehow has more storage space while also being a lot thinner and lighter, so you know, it's nice. I'm happy just looking at it. Nice seeing that, you know, it's not a hand-me-down. Stuff in my room is slowly becoming my own. Because I've never bought any furniture. Just my bed. Can we do a tournament? I love tournaments. Let's beat some ass real quick.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
All right. As long as you've got the enrollment stake, Sir Hanish's rule is every contestant has to put up 3 score groschen.
This freaking thing just completely transformed.
You are?
I'll write your name down, and I need to know...
Longsword.
Good.
God be with you.
I should really say, like, the axe. I always beat ass with the axe. But I think longsword fights are funner.
The first combatant will be Stenyek, apprentice to the rat-eyed scribe. And his adversary will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Ranzig Kubler.
Kubler!
Our warriors.
Welcome! Come on,
All is
let me add.
prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords.
God damn
That was a chunk.
Gotcha.
How's it, ow. Yeah. Ow. And need me stamina back.
And the winner of the first bout is Henry of Skallets. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield. And the second duel was won by Henry of Skallets. He is hereby declared
That
the
clipping.
victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round.
What's going on? It's like two different freaking meshes.
Entering the arena now will be Henry of Skallets from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Wow.
Will be Olbram, known as Sparrowhawk, archery master of Kalin. Welcome, our warriors. All is prepared for the
Like your
first
knees.
duel. We will witness a duel
Very
with
fancy. They got
longswords.
tassels. The hell they do it in Kalin? Oh, that's how they do it in Skallets.
Fuck!
Oh no, I just got demonetized for the guy swearing. It was in the game. I don't give a shit. I've said before I don't want any ads on these freaking VOD clip things. On the YouTube side. If I make a video essay or something, yeah, maybe. But these, you watch them ad free on Twitch, it's not fair that you should have to be subjected to them on YouTube as well. So that's been the hot topic of the week now that Hogwarts Legacy's release window has passed. YouTube CEO changed. Probably to someone much worse, but
You're dead.
at least there is a change. Hopefully they can get pushed out of the seat a lot quicker if we have problems, you know. Because their authority has not been cemented yet. Well, you just need someone like young in charge. Someone who gets the space. Actually uses the program.
The victor of the first duel is Henry of Skallets.
But, you know, that's never gonna happen.
Change weapons for the second bout. Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields.
Prepare to watch a massacre. His axes are busted. Him right in the throat with that. It probably felt awful.
Bollocks!
Ow, 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 ow! They did say it'd be a massacre, but not necessarily in my favor. Jesus Christ. Goes both ways.
Fuck this!
Damn, I didn't even faint that. I telegraphed the fuck out of it. You still got bopped in the head. Ah! Okay, okay, I'll give you that.
Obram, call Sparrowhawk.
Next round, you're fucking dead. Looking at hunting swords? I don't like these. I'm not good with these.
Sahanish, by whose good grace this tourney is convened, selects the weapons for the third decisive duel. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords.
Why do you even consider these a weapon if they're hunting swords? Like, these are for fighting animals, not people. You'd only bring this into battle as like an improvised thing.
Cunt!
Oh no, that's a word YouTube doesn't want anywhere in its videos. It's worse than fuck. I say it often enough because I think it sounds funny. It's okay to say dick, but not vagina in synonyms. Because women need protection.
Fuck up! Missed!
Yeah, I specifically don't like the hunting sword just because they don't have any stab damage. Which means you lose a whole avenue of attack for, like, minimal, like, maybe 10 points more of cutting damage. And it's still not enough to trump a longsword. Stab's so useful when you do something like that. And you get a combo and it's just like a quick follow-up. You usually get 2 of them in that land. Way too useful to just not use.
God!
The victor of the third deciding duel is Henry of Skalitz. As victor in this round, he shall proceed to the next.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't do the stab.
Entering the arena now will be...
Goddamn, sorry, I just ate, guys. I might be going out later tonight. Like, probably just within the stream window. So I tried to, like, get this early. Normally I wait about an hour after dinner, but...
All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Not today! Ah! I really need to improve my defense skills. I feel like I'm too late in the game to be doing stuff reliably, like my blocks are all too slow. And like, you know, a lot of that's just me being bad at it. But also their attacks are so fast it's like legitimately hard to counter it because of my in-game stats. Something that I should have worked on a bit earlier, but I was just like sloppy attacking because I found a good weapon.
Gotcha.
Woo! Woo! Giggle at me, you little girl. Ow.
Shite!
Yee! Yo! Where's your stamina at, though?
Ow! I'm going. Good damn.
I gave him the shield. I can teleport behind him, give him a shoulder attack. That felt pretty cool. Still not 100% sure how dodging works. I think you're supposed to double tap the direction or something, but it happens so rarely, and like you're supposed to block to initiate it as well. So like you usually just end up blocking.
And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
I'm sure they told me directly at some point, but it happens so rarely that I feel like I don't know.
Herrgott!
Ow, ow, ow! Fuck! Oh my god, stop!
You going to cry.
Fuck, I'm bleeding.
Give this.
We're losing blood a little fast, actually. You can see it, like, it looks fuzzy down there. Ah! Eek! Bitch! Ah, no! Lord have mercy. Am I supposed to be a clinch master? Thought I got that perk. My strength's max, so I should almost always win. Ah! Yeah, alright, he won that. Give him the next one. Axes. Alright, this either go very good or very bad.
Prepare to watch a fierce fight with axes and shields.
Do got that berserker perk for a second though. Ah! And it's gone. Yeah. Who grips their axe by the end like a sissy? Hold it in the middle for optimal power. Basically want to punch it into your target. Yeah, ass boy. Bend it over. Put you right over this fence. Show you what a man's like.
For which we all owe gratitude to Sir Hanush of Lipa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzik Kobila. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sir Hanush.
Man at arms, more like man with arms. Boom. Alright, where's Sir Hanush?
Did you hear about some foreign knights who turned up at Seth's house? What the?
What the?
Who is he?
He's usually in the church, right?
Huh?
Pouring one out for J-Dog. Ow. Maybe he's in the dining room talking to Hans. His hands is there for some reason. Why not Hanush? Yeah, boy.
Here, Henry. Your prize.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've earned it. Take care.
Thank you. How is it? 26, 10, and 18 charisma. It only weighs 3.5 pounds compared to this. 5 pounds, less armor. Literally 1 point less armor, less charisma. Weighs a fair bit more. It's just black. It does look kind of slick, but this is like literally elegant. It's got the pimp belt. It doesn't make me look fat because it's technically not plate, just like double chain. And it's better. And where is Hans? Probably the green. Order.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yeah.
Hans. You walking among the common folk? And your fancy shoes upon the shit-covered earth?
Well, if it isn't the world-renowned victor of the rat-eye Tourney, Henry of Skalitz.
Yeah, okay, great. Where the fucking... This guy, fucking... Brand new account. Fucking ban. Fucking bot. Do not go to dogehype.com. I'm sure you'll lose your credit card.
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot. Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole secret admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me. Good luck then.
You what?
Kitchen or the field, my fine
Rolls
wares
and
will
pretzels.
brighten your every day.
I live like you did till Skalitz was burned to ashes.
Okay, let's get our rickety clothes off. Something like that. Top guard, more like top hard. Oh. And then I gotta go in the back way.
What was that noise?
What was that noise? What was that? They'll never suspect you as long as you're acting just as surprised as them. Now should be empty during the day, so it's actually not so bad to come in. Normal houses would be a different story, but this is shop. am I on food? I don't think I should eat that pot then. You bark at me, you son bitch. Okay, let me put my naughty bits back on. Yeah, we're all kitted out, yeah? Got stuff to sell. I'll probably repair my stuff. Why not? It'll sell for more. Do I have a cobbler kit? Cool. Alright, it's just a wait a day, so I should go sell all that crap I've got.
Just this morning. Bread.
Bread! Good on that. Warfare, always good stuff in here, yeah. Rusty Edge, more damage your sword. I never used the damage sword, but like it's not a bad thing in a prolonged fight. And strength when you draw blood, that's guaranteed to happen. 20% greater chance of drawing blood. Bleeding's always useful. Chain strike. Each blow in an interrupted chain will hurt your opponent more than the previous one. Yeah. Yeah. That means that when I just recklessly wail on them without going for combos and all the attacks get blocked, it's more likely that they will lose all their stamina and start taking damage. Beyond useful. Sidekicks. Hungarian Saber. Human Bow. Hazel Bow. Brigading Aldrin. Oh wait, those aren't ready to sell yet actually.
God save you. Goodbye.
Got this shirt, got this cleef, got these boots, keeping that. Necklace. 20 charisma. Silver. Yeah, that's worse. Noble hat, trash. Trash.
Can we do something?
Well,
Not that.
What do you say to...
that's
Alright, it's probably lower by like 50.
finally.
Onions that'll even make your man cry like a little lass. Come and buy some.
Have pity on a poor wretch.
Bread feast just this morning.
Yeah, hello.
I'm glad to see you. Good boy.
Assassin! Alright, the Berg sword. The sword of Berg. Bows to sell too. I have to go a different guy for that.
Can we do something about... What about this?
That sounds...
kind of higher.
See now.
God bless.
Rakes, spades, forks, and axes. All you need to tame Mother Nature.
I feel like Conrad Hagen always gyps me. I always end up selling my freaking nice stuff to him, and he never gives me a good price.
Yeah.
So we're going to Huntsman instead.
Good God, you look... Take care.
Well, I look like a champion. Anything else cool to sell? Some drugs. Yeah, you love to see it. Okay, got anything else to sell?
I'd like to Are we agreed?
Close. Aye.
Okay. Sun's going down anyhow, so perfect time to get into the bed. Do the old savey wavy. And we'll continue our quetchy etchies.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa!
Ah! Watch what you're doing! There's people walking here!
Shut up, you're an armor. You'll live. Alright, sleep till the morning, see if the quest updates at all. Okay, go see Sir Hans. Where he at? On the streets? Taking a bath, perhaps? Still not hungry. Woo! Woo! How is my defense stat, actually? I didn't look at it. Yeah, pretty bad. Only 11. It should be a lot higher, considering. My warfare is pretty low, too, and that one's just, like, fighting, you know, doing any of this crap increases your warfare, so maybe it's not so bad. Maybe this is actually the low. Axe is the lowest, but just because you never used one outside of a tournament. Polearms isn't even a real skill. Same with unarmed. Alright, I feel less bad about that. Don't do much fighting. What is that buff? Clean conscience. Because I haven't done anything bad in a while? What's up with that? Is that from doing the freaking pilgrimage? I've definitely stolen stuff since then. Quest-related things, at least.
What business have you?
I delivered the things as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything. She
Whoa.
was wearing the necklace this morning, as I asked in the letter.
You have spies and you sent me?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually. Meanwhile, you'll get a potion for me.
I thought you didn't believe in witches' brews.
This is no witch's brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called Musk of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Susso who sells it, and he guarantees its success.
Musk of Infinite Allure? Sounds irresistible. Alright, I'll try and get it for you.
Ball sweat in a potion bottle.
Here's some coin for your costs. See you later.
Alright, I'll go get you a bottle of nut crust. Nut crust and musk.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you're right, a half hour in, right? Yes, past that. I don't think I got to talk about the Eternal Cylinder last time. I mentioned it, but the other discussions took longer. Like, we talked a lot about Ni no Kuni, too. So, geez, it feels like it's been a month since I finished it already. Probably only like 3 weeks, but close enough. So, the Eternal Cylinder came out probably 2 years ago. It was an Epic Store exclusive, so, you know, I waited out that year before it showed up on Steam. Picked it up during the winter sale. Basically, this game looked to me like the creature stage from Spore, which arguably the best part of the game. The most developed part is the space stage, of course, but like all the little mini games running up to it were short enough to not overstay their welcome, and I had the fondest memories of the creature stage, right? Plus, you get to build your creature, which is like the coolest part of the whole thing. But this is sadly not Spore. It's its own thing. You don't really get to customize your trebum, it's called. Your this little two-leg ball with a trunk. And, it still has Spore vibes, though. And you're a cute little creature on a very alien-looking world. Basically, every plant, every environment you go to, you'll be like, what the fuck is that? You will see deserts and snowlands, but then when you're in, like, normal grasslands, the plants are all weird and alien. There'll be, like, eyeball shits, and, like, in the desert, there's this one plant that looks like it's made of spinal columns, and when you get near it, it grows additional links and crawls towards you slowly, and then when it gets in front of you, it grows a mouth and goes in for a big chomp. That scared the fuck out of me the first time I saw it. And all the alien creatures you look at are fucking weird, and the skybox has planets in it, and they look super cool. Like, it's beautiful environments, even if they are a bit creepy and weird. Like, there's Spore vibes in that, and, like, while you don't get to customize your creature, the, like, patterns they have on them are very reminiscent of what you see in Spore, and, like, you kind of get to mutate your character to end up with a bunch of unique variants of the trebum as well. Because it's basically a puzzle game, you look for things to eat that'll give you specific mutations. So, like, you'll eat some fire-breathing lizard or something, and it'll give you a fire trunk that lets you melt shit, or you eat a fish and you get yourself some webbed feet, maybe some gills to make you not drown in water anymore. You can munch on a grasshopper egg to get you some big haunchy legs that let you jump high. Am I going the right way? I feel like I made a wrong turn. No, I did. Close though. Lots and lots of mutations. And, you know, at first it's just kind of annoying that you have to, like, get useful things and override them. But in your first little bit of playing, you'll encounter other Trebum eggs, and basically you'll build yourself a little family of characters that you can swap between. So you can, like, make loadouts, basically, with these characters. And you won't have to be, like, searching for things constantly anymore, because you'll have, like, alright, this is my guy for land, this is my guy for sea, this is my guy for combat. And that's a cool, unique dynamic. But then the name, the Eternal Cylinder, there's a big, endlessly long cylinder chasing you the whole game. It flattens everything, makes it uniform and whole, removes individuality, whatever. There's lots of meaning behind this thing, right? Kind of a bit of an eldritch monstrosity, too. And yeah, you start the game just running away from this thing. Eventually you encounter these big towers that are like your goals to run to them. To outpace the cylinder before it crushes you, and they will hold back the cylinder for a time. Let you explore and gather stuff, go into dungeons and learn new special mutations, progress the story, stuff like that. But occasionally it will surprise you. Like, the cylinder has ways of destroying these pillars without you allowing it to move on, and you will have to keep doing endurance runs sometimes, so, like, it's important to keep yourself fed and drinked, and, you know, just have stuff stashed away for any obstacles you may encounter during these runs. But the cylinder also has servants, little creepy monsters that are like half man and half machine. Like, you'll find things that are like cars with arms, muscle arms, and they shine a big yellow light that'll strip away your mutations, revert you back to the normal state. And they're like these hands gripping TVs with eyeballs on the screens, and like there's a big man with a weird head called the mathematician. He pushes the cylinder with his hands, and he has 3 legs. And yeah, there's lots of very disturbing things working with the cylinder. All very surreal to see, and is he not actually in Sasau? Is he outside the town? Ledetchko. What the fuck? You told me Sasau. Okay. So all that was cool. The game has a narrator, probably a guy you've heard before, though I don't remember his name. It's just like, you know, old-sounding British gentleman. And at first it seems like he's just a narrator, but it turns out he's like an actual person that's been speaking to you through your memories. The whole game is centered around memories and trying to unlock powers that your Trebum people have. One of those such powers is the ability to protect these mutations from the yellow lights, which is why I mentioned it. So eventually, in like Act 2, after you're decent way into the game, you will unlock recipes every time you get to an upgrade shrine. And with those, you basically just have to track down a bunch of ingredients, and then you can ingest them and protect mutation. And with that mutation protected, you will be able to transform into it at will, as well as not lose it ever. So, you know, it takes away some of the annoyances, but you only get a few recipes at a time. You have to look for all these upgrade shrines, where you can spend these crystal dust things to upgrade your stats, like your max party size, your hunger meter, your water meter, your stamina bar, health, stuff like that. And you really have to look for these things. They are marked on your very limited map, but I ran by a few of them. I didn't even find every mutation in the game, apparently. And you also have to, like, gather stuff preemptively if you want to get the achievements, because as you go on, you will encounter certain environments less and less, and eventually things will become unachievable. Especially during the final act, the environments are all homogenized into some weird nightmare amalgamation because of something you did. And you will not see the normal environments anymore, but occasionally you'll find plants from them. So yeah, the game's a platformer with puzzle solving based on these mutation things. Lots and lots of mutations. There's a whole big tree for you to look at. So you get some interesting puzzles, and like, it's all cute. Because you're always running away. You can feel a little powerless at times, but the story still managed to maintain a sense of momentum. Like, the goals are always changing. First, you're like, oh, well, perhaps all we have to do is go behind the cylinder and everything will be alright, right? That's, like, your first goal. So then you have to figure out a way to get, like, the inflatable body from a special tree and find a geyser to float over the thing. You're like, oh, there's nothing back there. It's all wasteland. So you go back and start running away again. Start looking for other avenues, like flying fortresses or maybe even destroying the cylinder. It's whatever you can manage. You go like 4 different acts of this crap you go through, and you learn more about what's really going on as through each of these things. You don't fight too much at first, but towards the end of the game you get more combat abilities, and there is a final showdown. Ultimately I feel that I didn't like how the game didn't let me get all the mutations or whatever. Like, yeah, I just had to plan that out. I didn't know when I wasn't gonna have access to stuff anymore. That frustrated me because I got most of the other achievements. Story wasn't bad. It was definitely weird, but everything in the game was weird. I didn't like the end necessarily, though, because I didn't understand why it happened the way it did. It just kind of did. It felt like it ended a little abruptly. Still, overall, a very unique experience. I don't think I've played a game like that before. Other than Spore, of course. Maybe Spore Hero on the Wii, which I haven't actually played yet, but I did pick it up last year. I intend to. Looks like a mutation platformer adventure thing, so that's why I think it would be similar. Oh hey, the charlatan.
Well, well, who have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returns. I knew
This is why he's not in Sasau, because I redid this quest.
You saw it in a dream.
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. But next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry. But these things are sent to try our fortitude in the face of adversity.
I'd like to try your fortitude. I've heard you know of some irresistibility potion or whatever it is.
Oh, Naturally, Musk of Infinite Allure. An age-old recipe, maybe even older. Tested by Moses himself.
Moses?
How do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert for 40 years? It's extremely potent.
Yeah, so
Hilarious.
how much do you want for it?
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold in the marketplace. Did Jesus charge for his miracles? But since you ask, how about this much?
2,000.
What? That much? You're a crook.
As King Solomon said, honesty is for those who can afford it. If you'd like, I can mix the elixir for you in exchange for a small favor.
Oh, not again.
Now, is that any tone to use with your master? For shame.
Apologies, Master. I was carried away by my thirst for knowledge.
I understand your impatience, but the way to wisdom is narrow and arduous.
And leads out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it you want from me now?
Ah, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living from hand to mouth, sleeping on straw, and the local peasants won't buy from me. They say they don't trust me, as if I were some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it?
That is
Does
your name.
this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare of troubled souls.
A regular good Samaritan.
And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sassau. I should leave before things get worse. But I can't go anywhere until I've made a bit of coin. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement, to open their hearts and purses.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave, a corpse that the soul is unable to depart from, which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once. But it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a revenant?
Silver sword.
A silver arrowhead through the skull?
Novel, but it would certainly be a lucrative trade. You are my trained apprentice, but the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sassau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
My name's on it.
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
Why this particular grave?
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it. And in places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
Alright.
I'll need a spade then.
Yes, dig it up and remove the remains, leaving no trace.
And what am I to do with the remains?
keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
What?
Right. And how do we spread the word of this revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Here, too, a woman who'll spread news quicker than a dozen messengers on the fastest steeds.
And what am I to tell this gossip?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sasau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumor-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there. So we've got a story to work with.
So, dig up the grave, talk to the gossip.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise, no one will believe in the Revenant.
I might have known any task for Capon would turn into some insane escapade. Grave robbing. Jesus.
Alright, what was I talking about? Talked about gameplay, story. Music's pretty cool, pretty epic. Got some spacey tones, so, you know, unique sound profile, I suppose. Graphics, it's beautiful. Everything's unrecognizable as anything that you know. Except that, you know, a tree is vaguely a tree. But still very good looking. However, it is an Unreal Engine, so I did crash a handful of times, and it can be pretty demanding on the higher settings. So keep that in mind. They do also offer some kind of unoptimized form of ray tracing, so if you have like a hand-beast NVIDIA computer, go for it, but mine cannot handle it, even though I do have an RTX ready card. I still have no idea what the deal with Unreal is, but literally every Unreal game I've ever played has crashed on me for no fucking reason. It happens without fail. This is weird. Why don't I just pick up the whole skeleton at once? So yeah, like I said, overall very unique experience, had a good time. I don't remember how much it cost. I feel like it's probably a $30 thing, and I don't know, I maybe got it for like 20, 25-ish. It wasn't too deep a sale. But, I don't know. It was a little short. Maybe like 15 hours. Something like that. Depends how much you're gonna explore or if you're just gonna run for it. Which both are probably viable, though there were times when I felt like I needed to have the entire stamina bar maxed out if I was even gonna stand a small chance of running away from the damn cylinder. Things do get kind of complicated with the runs. You have to like look at the map and plan ahead, see if you're gonna deal with water or poison gas or mountains or anything like that, and mutate accordingly.
Yeah.
Ah! What am I hearing?
Who's there? What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I would think that the amount of time I spent is probably pretty fair, pretty standard if you're aiming to get the max stamina bar minimum. Um, I don't know. I would say get it on like a light sale, right? Pick it up for like the 20-25 range. Not necessarily the full 30 because of the length, I suppose, but definitely like something that you should play. It's how unique it is.
God be with you, good wife. Has something happened here?
Heavens no. It's quiet here, unlike some other places.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sasau. Just by the river, on the Pine Headland.
How would you know it's empty? Unless it was dug up.
Oh, it's dug up, all right. Freshly. And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Lord in heaven, what in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that. Usually.
I don't like to say. It's an old wound that's best forgotten.
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this fellow worked alone. That's not an easy job for one man.
Well, no one wanted to work with him, or what?
Ah, he was a hard-headed fellow who always wanted to take care of his family himself.
Well, I can understand that. It's always better to work for yourself than break your back for someone else.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet, and he wasn't doing well at all. Soon enough they had nothing to eat, and so he took to thieving.
Feeling's wrong.
Well, I can understand him. To watch your family suffer like that. What could he do when they were going hungry?
If we'd known how badly off they was, folk would have helped out. But he kept his troubles to himself.
And did he get caught?
Folk are helping
First,
out,
it was just a few
non-consensually.
eggs going missing from people's hen coops. But then it was anything that wasn't nailed down. And in the end, they caught him.
And I suppose he was harshly punished for it.
Even then, he didn't let on why he was doing it. They whipped the skin off his back and banished him from Ledetchko.
So justice was done then?
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out he'd never get any compensation, he wanted them to chop off the charcoal burner's hands. If the bailiff hadn't talked sense into him, he'd have done it himself with his cleaver.
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him, and more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No, no. It was the mills of God turning slowly but surely. His wife bled to death in childbirth, and the child died with her.
Oh.
God have mercy on their souls.
Amen.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day, he parted ways with God forever, and he turned his back on the village too. I reckon he never forgave himself, nor us either.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. But how did he end up?
Don't ask me that, lad. I beg you.
Come now, good wife. You can't leave the story unfinished.
I said no. Will you let it lie?
Damn bitch, you don't know. You're just a gossip. Seriously, what is that wailing I'm hearing?
Who's there? Hey! What was that? Who? Lost something? What?
A fucking demon dog? He dug up a human bone. I wonder if that has anything to do with the body I dug up.
Who's there? Answer me.
Buy my potions made from magical herbs plucked from the flanks of Mount Olympus. God save you.
I know who was buried in that grave. A young charcoal burner.
So begins the tragic tale of the young charcoal burner who became entangled with the devil himself.
Oh, don't start. What devil? I'm trying to tell you. Ugh. He was from Ledetchko. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but he couldn't manage. When she fell pregnant, he took to stealing.
Pride drove him from the straight and narrow path, and soon he sold his soul to the devil to fill his stomach.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was enough. Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed everyone for it. Even God, apparently.
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the devil had no use for his soul, and took his wife and child instead. The charcoal burner cursed God, who struck him down in righteous vengeance. But the dead man's soul never left his body. He came back as a revenant to vent his rage at God and men and take vengeance on the living.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. What do you want me to do with it?
The question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the villagers? Well, apprentice?
The gossip mentioned the butcher. It seems he was infuriated that the charcoal burner's punishment was too lenient.
And the revenant spoiled their meat with his malign touch.
How's that?
Human meat?
Spoiled meat is a classic example of a revenant's power.
Huh. I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too, sometimes.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher's. What about the butcher woman?
What about her?
Her conscience was troubled on account of her man, and she couldn't sleep. But I helped her, so she's found some peace.
So, no problem then.
What? I'm supposed to scare the wits out of her and start all over again?
All right, if you can find some other solution, you don't have to switch the meat. But I wouldn't worry about her. But make sure it's the same kind of meat. Not even a revenant will turn a cow into a chicken.
What about his wife and child? No doubt he'd want to avenge their death.
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
And when his love turned to rage, the water turned to blood. Nothing too original, but it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking around with a pail of blood.
No problem. There's a certain potion that will do the trick easily.
Food coloring.
He cursed God. That's very serious.
What is it that most brings God to mind?
They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary. I can't think of anything else.
That's it! If folks start losing their rosaries, they'll have sleepless nights over it.
You want me to steal rosaries? But that's...
Or just exchange them.
For what?
For nothing.
Great. He was stealing food from people, right? So, supposing he started again.
We should steal from people? Disgraceful. Have you no shame?
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops, like the gossip mentioned.
Well, that wouldn't be too serious a sin. Will they put it down to the revenant, though?
They would, if I put some charcoal there instead.
and their nourishment he turned into ash. So, switch eggs for charcoal, switch the meat, color the water in the baths, and switch the rosaries. That ought to do it. I hope so. Of course, if you come up with anything else, don't let me hold you back. Talking to people might give you ideas. Traders, the bailiff.
What if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't. Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over again. Don't draw attention to yourself, or they'll put two and two together.
Sure. I'll keep my head down. And how would I know if I've succeeded? I doubt it'll be announced on the market square.
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a remedy, like hens at feeding time. Off you go and raise hell.
But whatever he did, don't you think he deserves some peace?
Dear Henry, after all the poor wretch went through, I'd say he's beyond any peace.
Well, he certainly won't have any as long as I'm carrying his bones around with me.
Ah, but you know who those remains could help.
Help? Who? How?
Me, of course. And I'd pay you a nice price for a revenant's bones.
But there is no revenant.
Not yet. What do you say?
Yeah, well, why not?
All right, I'll sell them to you.
Splendid.
And this man a whole body.
Revenant bones. They'll be very useful indeed. Goodbye.
Easiest 95 bucks I ever made.
Hosts baked in the temple of Jerusalem.
Is this a trader? Buy some charcoal.
God be with you. Farewell.
The link, are these things marked on my map? Color the water in the baths. Brew potion to color water. Steal rosaries, steal eggs, switch to charcoal. I'm supposed to ask him about the recipe.
Ladies and gentlemen, good men.
What's the recipe for that potion you were talking about?
You mean for coloring the water? Ah, well...
Well?
Pay close attention now.
I'm all ears.
How love turned to bloodshed. Once there was a knight who, though upright and noble-looking, had a prickly, unapproachable appearance. He fell in love with a fragile young maid, whom he saw with her sisters in a field, all wearing bright red wimples. But he was afraid his prickly exterior would frighten her. So he asked the advice of another knight, a pious and learned crusader, who carried the name of the patron saint of his order with pride. The pious knight told him he would arrange a rendezvous with the maid. All three would drink wine together by the river, and he would help his friend to get acquainted with her. This they did, but the maid fell in love instead with the pious knight. The stern knight was enraged and challenged his rival to a duel. The two fought long and fiercely, but they were equally matched. And so, in the end, they both fell mortally wounded. anguished at the tragedy her beauty had caused. The young maid took a dagger from one of the knights and plunged it into her own heart. Their bodies lay together on the ground, and the blood flowed from them into the river, turning the waters crimson.
I do a potion.
Tell me the recipe, not some fable.
It is the recipe. I mean, the recipe is concealed in the story.
What, wine and blood?
So I don't forget it.
All right. So what does it mean?
I can't remember.
You son of a bitch.
So if you don't know, who does?
You'll figure it out, my loyal apprentice. I remember there are 3 plants in the story, but that's about all. But I know it was a simple recipe. It should be enough to grind the ingredients and brew them together for one turn. So, all you have to do is work out what the ingredients are from the story.
Sure. Why make things simple if you can complicate them? What's the recipe for that potion you were talking about?
Pay close.
I'm all ear.
How once there was a knight who, though upright, he fell in love with a fragile young maid, whom he saw with her sisters in a field, all wearing, but he was afraid his prickly exterior would frighten her. So he asked the advice of another knight. The pious knight told him he would arrange a rendezvous with the maid. This they did, but the maid fell in love instead, anguished at the tragedy her beauty had caused. The young maid, their bodies lay together on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a wimple and a prickly exterior like a rose. I don't know, I'm gonna look this one up. I don't know enough about plants to come up with names for these things, alright? Kingdom come, color water, fake blood. So, wine, a poppy, a thistle, and St. John's wort. So I guess St. John is like the pious knight, but I don't know what's up with the poppy or the thistle, other than the thing is supposed to be bright red. So I will have to run over to Sasau, see old Nicodemus. Probably get this all done overnight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so let's try to talk about the Hogwarts Legacy Drama. So basically, in the past, J.K. Rowling has allegedly made some transphobic comments And because of that, the whole legacy of hers, the books, the movies, and all that's been tarnished, despite the fact that these are like massive projects worked on by plenty of good people. And, you know, she's just getting a little bit of revenue from it. And the woman's already made tons of her money. I believe the comments happened in like 2016 or something. Like relatively recently, so she's already a multi-billionaire at this point in time. And while I can respect the idea of boycotting someone whose beliefs you don't agree with, you are by no means hurting her finances. She has more money than she'll ever know what to do with. And by boycotting these products, you're just hurting all the good people that did work on them, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm sure WB, Warner Brothers, has plenty of bad stuff going for them as well, but just talking about the development studio or the movie staff, all the actors in the movies, stuff like that, production crew, I'm sure most of them are fine. You know, Daniel Radcliffe's a bit of an alcoholic now, but he's cool. He's cool. He's in a lot of interesting movies. He's trying to distance himself from the franchise, and he's doing a great job of it. Your man Ron Weasley, he's just a good guy, I believe. I think Emma Watson's gotten herself in some controversy. What do we need? Poppy Thistle, St. John Wort. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically the point everyone defending the game has gone on. Like, the game's good. It is good. I've played plenty of it. So, you know, judge it on its own merits. Lots of good people made it. It's not necessarily just supporting her. And even if it was, how big a difference can that truly make? St. John Wort. And a thistle. And a poppy. Okay. And, you know, that's all fine, alright? That's an alright enough argument, but we all want to look at what these people are actually doing, these alleged protesters. Well, they are bullying everybody who streams the game or makes videos on them, which is just awful. Being a cyberbully is fucking pathetic, arguably worse than just hating a group of people. Because you're fucking lashing out at everyone for seemingly no reason. For a pathetic reason, really. It doesn't make you any better. Lots of people are being brought to fucking tears from this shit, like it's very aggressive bullying. And then it's a lot of misinformation too. Like I'm not gonna dig through it because there are plenty of comments. Obviously, JK has had to defend herself plenty. But I encourage you to go look up what was actually said, and you'll see that she's not like totally transphobic. She doesn't hate these people. She's also doesn't hate gay people, which is another rumor people are just saying. And she hates all queer stuff, is a neo-Nazi, stuff like that. Just vilifying this woman completely.
I just won't get any sleep.
Now, she's relatively supportive, but basically after some initial sus comments, she published a manifesto about the turf wars, which is basically about the divide between feminist and intersectional feminists. That is to say, people fighting for women's rights and people fighting for women's rights that also view their fight for all women's rights. Because not everybody agrees with this statement that, you know, transgender people should be treated the same. Like, obviously the bathroom argument, that's a big hot button topic. I don't understand how it's even an issue, considering that the women's room is all stalls. But then there were a few cases of people just, like, saying that their gender is one thing so they can go and spy on people in the bathroom. Very high-profile sex offender type things where these people were arrested. That does happen, sadly. But in general, I think the split with bathrooms is kind of redundant because it's like enforcing a heteronormative agenda, erasing the existence of gay and bisexual people, you know? If someone wants to spy in the bathroom, they could be another woman, it'll happen. And it's only the women that we care about defending, and everybody likes to forget that transgender men exist as well. Oh boy. But obviously the whole focus of this thing was about feminism, so the whole topic is stuck to the women as well. I don't know if I did this right. I feel like I didn't boil it properly.
Sleep again.
Cool. Some perks. So basically, from what I've gathered, it's not that she hates these people, she just doesn't respect them as normal women. And, like, not all of her points made are, like, completely invalid, though I don't agree with the initial statement, like... She's fighting for the idea that we are, like, trying to erase the concept of sex. That is to say, male and female in mechanical terms referring to what your junk is, plug and socket. It has nothing to do with your gender. And, you know, that's obviously, like, medically relevant, of course. I remember, I think the first comment she made about it was, about an article called People Who Menstruate. She's like, wow, isn't there a word for that? And, you know, that's obviously sus because not all women menstruate, if we're including transgender people. But then, you know, there are men that menstruate as well, so that's, like, doubly offensive in that way. But, you know, so she made points about stuff like that, the sex offender things, and also, I just read an article about this last week where a mom was suing a school because the guidance counselor was advising her daughter on how to transition into a boy, like, gracefully, without causing too much of a stir in her classes, you know? And, you know, I can agree that, like, that can be an issue if we're using that as a first resort for other problems. Cool, cool. Interesting. I read max strength though. What was I saying? So, you know, like, this is an issue with psychiatrists. It's irrelevant, but let's say, like, you go to a therapist because you have depression. If that therapist just gives you antidepressants right away, he's a bad therapist because it's like a band-aid. It should be used as a last resort if you feel that you are on the verge of killing yourself or something. It's not gonna fix whatever is causing you to be depressed. You obviously have something going on in your life, whether some event like a relative died, a pet died, or you're being bullied in school or whatever. I suppose it could be a some kind of other health problem, like you have a literal chemical imbalance because your pancreas is failing or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, going to some nuclear medical medicine option is, like, not the first resort we should go to. And so with something like people having gender doubts, you need to, like, investigate the issue a lot further instead of pushing them towards something that seems like an easy solution. Because, like, for the whole issue of a girl wanting to be a boy, the identity of a woman is, like, so freaking boring in my opinion. Like, playing with dolls, cooking, cleaning, makeup, and fashion. Not everybody's into that. Maybe you even have divorced parents and you grew up in a house with your dad and two brothers and you feel like you identify in a more masculine sense. It's okay to be a tomboy. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do some medical body mutilation to yourself. It could resolve the issue very well. Like, it happens. I'm not saying that it's not a solution. It's just probably not the solution. But, you know, as, like, the media is rationalizing this stuff and making it more okay, it really has become a much more popular trend to transition or to be bisexual or whatever. That's, like, the big hot thing right now. Everybody wants to be bi. You open up a dating app and the girls be like, I'm looking exclusively for bi guys. Like, that shouldn't even matter considering that you're a man about to date a woman, right? But yeah, basically it's just, like, potentially dangerous. Even that it's not even 100% safe for being on the medications they have to take for the rest of your life. It could be dangerous for your body. You could have mental health ramifications aside from needing to actually change your body as well. Not that the surgery would be too unsafe. And you have to deal with ridicule after it because not everybody's accepting of it, of course. You know, this is all, like, important stuff to consider. And, you know, I just think it's kind of messed up that you're not allowed to talk about this stuff that is legitimately important just because it doesn't matter to the common folk. You know, as far as any normal person is concerned, a transgender person is whatever gender they're identifying as. But as far as a doctor is concerned, it's very important to know. As far as your lover is concerned, it's also kind of important to know. And, you know, that's all that JK is really trying to say, but she's, like, completely vilified for it. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot more tweets and whatnot that I have not read. Maybe she has thrown herself under the bus, but from what I've gathered, that's about the gist of it. So, yeah, again, read that and figure it out for yourself. I need to switch the meat out here. I don't know if I have any spoiled meat. Or might want me to steal eggs here too, I don't know. Point A. Do I do this at night? Do I just take all this crap and let it rot in my inventory, or what? I don't know, I'm sussed out about that part. another big point. A lot of these arguments are happening on Twitter, of course, because that's where literally everything happens, even where the controversial statements were made. And Twitter is, of course, owned by Elon Musk, another billionaire transphobe. So, like, all these trolls using Twitter to do this is, like, very hypocritical. Should more or less invalidate their arguments on the spot, because they are financially supporting this person who's doing the bad things. And then they're bullying people for doing the same thing on the platform that's doing just what they're fighting against. Like, hilarious irony. Yeah, I suppose that's all I really need to say. Just, like, do your research, sheeple. Please. Cancel culture stuff gets really out of control because of this, too. And this is obviously another big cancel culture event. But, you know, the game's sales and review scores have been more or less unaffected despite all the trolly fake reviews. The game is, it doesn't deserve to be properly reviewed. You're just awful if you played it. They say nothing relevant about it. 1 out of 10. Mid. Yeah, it's still sitting at a nice 85%. Still sold a crap ton. So, like, I think that these boycotters either still bought the game, or they obviously never had any intention of purchasing it, which, you know, no sales were lost. So what's really wacky about the whole thing is just how, you know, everybody has made a big deal of it on the media, but then, you know, in the marketplace where it actually should have mattered, it seemed to have made no difference at all. And, you know, that just, like, puts question marks all over my face. I'm looking for these chicken coops. Or maybe this is the bathhouse it wants me to go to. Yeah.
Has something happened?
I don't know what I'm doing, man. I should just wait till sundown. So yeah, I suppose that's all that I really need to say without offending anyone more than what was needed to be said from a factual standpoint. There is a lot more that can be said. Like about how these activist groups are just very hostile in general, even when they're not playing trolls, like I believe happened here. How they only want support from other people facing their problems and not from normies, we'll say. Especially if you're a cisgender white man who's bald, tragically lost his hair, didn't get to pick his skin color or gender, is happy with how he was born. That's an issue somehow.
What's the...
You know, that goes for both, like, LGBTQ groups and feminists. Like, everybody hates the cisgender white man. You know, echo chamber effect, but you're also just not making any friends doing that, and like it's just counterproductive. I'm sure plenty of legit protester people were involved in the thing, but also a lot of them were not. Just hens. Chicken coops. Who are you? Charlatan. Okay. So E is point C. That's point A. I just need to find hens. Well, the farms are out this way. Shut the fuck up! These freaking hens at, dude. There's no eggs. There's chickens, but no eggs. Is this the hen house? The roosters are separate? Nope, nope. Nest. 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 It could be up in that tree. Different kind of nest. Why didn't they shut their door? I took an egg. Is there like a counter for how many eggs I need to take? Replace the eggs in chicken coops with charcoal. Okay. I didn't put any charcoal in there. Maybe if I put charcoal in the other coops though, it'll help. Other hole. Can I just drop a piece of charcoal in here and call it a day? Do I need to actually steal an egg? Yes. Perfect. I just gotta steal all that meat from the butcher and replace it once it's rotten, I guess. Not sure how this is gonna work. All gone.
Lamb. And I'll need lots of it if I'm to switch it all.
Where do I get lamb? Mutton 25? I'll take all that too.
But this is a different kind of meat.
Yeah, I will have to like wait a day for that to rot, I guess. I don't know. Unless it doesn't have to rot, I can just try putting it on there and see if it matters. Maybe just letting it sit out overnight.
This meat doesn't look spoiled.
Yeah, okay. Gotta wait for it to liquefy.
You can't just walk around in the dark.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Steal rosaries. I guess I just have to go pick it off people while they sleep. Already broke into the butcher's house, may as well. You're good. Now, I find interesting about the whole drama specifically is just that they were targeting the game. Like, the new movies have been coming out, the Fantastic Beasts trilogy, and they just did the Hogwarts reunion thing special. I think that was on either Netflix or Hulu. And, like, nobody had anything bad to say about those. I know JK is still writing books. They're maybe gonna make a movie about one of the new ones, following, Harry's kid. Harry and Malfoy's sons, they're like buddies, I guess. I don't know. I don't read books. Like, nobody chose to make, like, a big stink about this until just now for a video game, specifically at the release window. Started picking up Steam like a month or two before. Take that money, actually. He has no rosary. What I came for. I think it should be obvious enough why. It's because the trolls live on the internet, right? They're the fucking neckbeard gamer memers. Still, I think if they wanted to make this seem more genuine, they would have attacked all the things that happened. Like, when did the freaking last movie come out? Like, a couple months ago? Probably November-ish? Close enough. Nobody cared. Heavy. Why are y'all standing in the... I see they're watchmen. What? What? Usually this back room here, right? One's for storage, the other's for sleeping. How's that meat coming along? Only 95% now. Really just gotta wait it out. See if we can find other things to do instead to talk to bailiff traders. Maybe something to do with that dog. Convince him it's a freaking hellhound. A barghest.
Cultivated from a rose bush.
You're a tailor, maybe you have something to say.
God be with you.
Nah.
Salt sprinkled with the bloody tears.
Salt sprinkled with the bloody tears from Castlevania. It will sound like music in your mouth as you chew.
I'm glad to see you.
I look like I've been injured.
You look a bit worried, bailiff.
How can I not be? What with the whole village complaining about ghosts?
Ghosts?
An empty grave that they say a revenant crawled out of. They talk of nothing else.
You don't think there's any truth to it?
No, it's nothing but old wives' tales.
But how come the grave is empty?
You don't need any magic to dig up a grave. A spade will do.
But why would anyone do
Magic
that?
spade would show look
Surely
easier
no
though.
God-fearing Christian would dig up the grave of some poor soul who hasn't even got the piece of hallowed ground to rest in.
A God-fearing Christian? No.
So you suspect someone?
Could be. There's been a band of good-for-nothing itinerants hanging around recently. They weren't making any trouble, though, so I let them be. But this is going too far.
How do you know it was them?
Who else would it be?
What about the Revenant?
Oh, don't you start. That Revenant of yours is nothing but idle hands doing the devil's work. I'd send them packing myself if I had the time and the men.
A hero is what you need for a job like that. If you could find one.
From what I hear, you could be just the man for the job.
Me? Ah, well.
Oh, since you put it like that, how could I refuse?
Good. But no bloodshed, please. Just send them packing.
Yeah, I'll just show them what I'm packing and they'll fuck off.
What are they doing here?
Damned if I know. Or where they came from. Except for one fella who's from Ledetchko. But the rest are from God knows where.
Who are these people?
Just some itinerants who'd rather roam the roads than do an honest day's work. They're not cutthroats, though, just petty thieves and beggars.
Where can I find them?
Last I heard, they were a bit away from the village, across the river by the old mine.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. I'll get going.
Good luck. See you later.
See you later. Piece of shit, hope I never have to talk to you again. See you later. Is that what point B is? Yes. Itinerants. Just hand them some itineraries, give them some jobs to do.
Yeah.
I feel like the bunny ear design's just weird for the horse. Like, they're gonna flop all around. You'd think they'd have something more, like, low and concealed close to their head, like maybe like our ears look like. Pig ears. It's obviously working out for them. I don't know the intricacies of ear shape advantage. But I feel like that ain't right. Even cats don't have long ears, you know, they have the short version of this. It works out great for them.
Yeah.
The rabbits, I feel like it's probably bad for them. Like, obviously they use the big ears to hear things and stay safe, but like it sticks out in the tall grass, like it makes them easy targets for birds and stuff. What is this marker I'm following? I didn't place that. That's probably Nicodemus's lab in it. I think I just removed it.
Yeah.
Alright, you rabble, clear off, so says Henry of Skalitz. Try and challenge me, I'll best you handily.
Go and play your game some...
What do you want, boy? The bailiff sent me after you.
Oh, yeah? I'm shitting myself.
Well, you better take a good look at me and think again.
Oh, all right. What does the bailiff want from us?
I'm supposed to get you to leave.
What's the problem all of a sudden?
Someone hereabouts dug up a grave, and the bailiff reckons you lot are mixed up in it.
Sure, might as well blame us for everything, why not? I suppose we burned down Skalitz too.
Don't play the innocent lamb with me.
I'll kill you if you
know what I
did.
think?
No, I don't much care.
Well, maybe you ought to.
Oh yeah? Why?
I'll throw you out here. You'll be blamed for the zombies.
Because otherwise you'll be accused of witchcraft. And the penalty for that is burning at the stake.
What are you talking about? That revenant in Ledetchko? But I've got nothing to do with that.
Well, I believe you, but the folk round here are keen to pin the blame on someone.
But why us? We don't know anything about it.
Well, try telling them that, if you think they'll believe a band of good-for-nothings. And who do you think will take your side?
We'll be off then, right away.
Very wise.
Come on, lads. Let's leave.
Alright.
Trouble here anyway.
No bloodshed, Jesus Christ be praised.
Yeah!
Look at dice. Rabbit paws of all colors, shapes, and sizes.
Here I am, bailiff.
So, how did it go?
I dealt with them. They won't bother you anymore.
What? I hope you didn't kill them.
And why would I?
I just persuaded them to leave. That's what you wanted, right?
Indeed, and I'm glad you managed it. Here's your reward. You've earned it. Take care.
You've earned it. It's the arena announcer from Oblivion, innit? The arena is the part I've done the most times, because Oblivion's otherwise rather imbalanced, and that's just the easiest thing to go do right away. It's not actually imbalanced, it's just the leveling is really fucking archaic. And if you make your primary skills things that you actually intend to use, as you should, you're gonna level up too quickly. And then the game's gonna get too hard. Things start to make sense once you read the manual. But nobody wants to do that, it's awful. Just
Ladies
awful.
and gentlemen, good men and good wives, come close.
Alright, you gotta wait till night again.
Poor or rich, old or young.
Hopefully our meat's rotten enough by then. Seem to have gone down like 20% in 10 hours. I think we only need it to be below half before it's rotten. Yeah, it's rotten. Sweet. I just walk right in. Is she asleep yet? Possible she's not.
This isn't spoiled enough.
Alright. I'll give it a few more hours. They want a kiss from Henry of Skalitz? Costs you a single groschen. God forgives all sinners who pay in advance. And I know you want these. There you go, now it's proper rotten. Red text. She have other meats stored? What's up? Maybe I'll take a little sneak around. Get all she's got, if anything. No, I think we're good. I just have to wait till the next morning or something. Around 8 o'clock when the Focal are awake. Of course, the charlatan's on that Sigma male grind set up at the ass crack at dawn, looking for opportunities. He's successful because he doesn't let anything slip past his slimy fingers. Slime keeps it from falling through too quickly, in fact. Woo!
Good day.
So, how am I doing so far?
Good work, Henry. The whole village is shaking in its boots. Soon people won't step outside the door without saying 3 Hail Marys.
Ugh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm beginning to feel haunted myself.
Half the village is without rosaries. Someone even wanted to buy one from me.
And did you sell it?
I don't trade in such banal goods. But I sold him a cat's paw.
I didn't know a cat's paw was good for warding off revenants.
Henry, all the goods I have are good for warding. The baths are closed. No one will tell you why, but everyone is clearly frightened. No one in Ledetchko would eat a single egg, even if they had any, because all the hens are hexed.
Well, at least they've got fuel for their fires. So, the job is done, eh?
Not quite.
But you just said the whole village is shaking with fear.
The whole village, but for one individual.
Well, surely that doesn't matter.
That's what I thought too. Only this fellow is giving everyone the benefit
Wisdom? They don't have a priest here.
He needs shaking up before he undoes your good work.
But if he's not been scared yet, what more can I do to frighten him?
Well, when he's not hanging around here ruining my trade, he's in the tavern boasting that he'd happily sleep by that empty grave to prove there's no revenant.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Exactly. He
Beat
just
his ass there.
Persuasion. And once he's there, make it the most terrifying night of his life.
Well, what are we waiting for then?
It's best to be well prepared. You ought to find out something about him, so there's no surprises.
The gossip woman?
Naturally. And Henry, before we get to that grave, you can still try and come up with more ways to frighten the villagers. The more terrified they are, the more groschen there'll be in it for me. For us, that is. Goodbye.
Oh, I had the meat thing, didn't I? There's gotta be more stores of meat somewhere, I don't know. Fearless Felix.
Good luck, then.
Ah, the gossip. Because the brave lad doesn't want to talk to me. He's too shy.
God save.
I'd like to buy some live...
Maybe.
Cattle, pigs...
Starting a farm.
Swords into plowshares. No, it's not for me. It's for the village of Pribyslavitz.
What? For the whole village?
Aye.
Oi.
A few dozen people at least.
Well, no. That's no laughing matter. But it can be done, although they might not be the best animals.
What do you mean, not the best?
Well, it's like this. I've got to supply meat for the Lord's table too. And the gentry in Ledetchko want the best.
So what's left for me then?
The animals might not be as good as what you'd get somewhere else. I'll sell you older beasts, ones that ain't so fat and the like. Or ones no one wants to buy, because they don't like the look of them. That's how it is.
I don't have my own butcher anyways, it
I'll
don't
give
matter.
you all the better price. Have you got someone to herd the livestock there for you?
I've got a merchant to arrange it.
So we'll shake on it?
No thanks. Three groschen though, now.
No, I think maybe I should try help.
All right, come back if... Goodbye.
No, I came for anyways.
Rare merchandise from all over the world.
Good God. What happened to your clothes?
Nah, I do the robbing around here, don't worry about it.
You're still here, lad? I thought you'd have fled by now.
Fled? Why on earth would I do that?
Because there's a bandit on the prowl. The whole village is talking about it, and everyone is terrified.
Ah, that. But I heard there's one brave lad who's not afraid.
You mean Felix?
Well, I don't know what his name is, but he's always arguing in the tavern that there's no revenant.
That's him. The fool doesn't believe what's going on under his own nose. He hasn't the sense he was born with.
Is he brave or just stupid? Surely he's afraid of something.
I couldn't tell you. But if he's to be believed, he doesn't fear the devil himself.
And do you believe him?
Well, it's true he never seems bothered by anything. But then he's always with that other pair.
What pair?
Two mates of his.
But he was alone in the tavern.
Aye, they're not locals. But outside the village, wherever he goes, they go with him.
He even said he'd spend the night at the graveside, just to prove there's no revenant.
Aye, all talk and no action.
Who are these two fellas?
They're not bad lads, but they're no heroes, that's for sure.
How's that?
Them two have their fears, but then who doesn't?
What are they afraid of?
The first one wouldn't even go into the woods alone, because he's afraid of wild animals.
Ah, is that so? I wonder why.
He got lost in the forest as a young lad, and he wasn't found till next morning. Shaking and pale as a ghost he was when they found him.
Yeah, I mean, wild animals are pretty dangerous.
Poor lad. Must have been scared out of his wits.
That he was.
What about the other one?
He's afraid of fire.
Why?
Another somewhat reasonable fear.
His own father burned him. God forgive him.
Jesus Christ.
As a young lad, he was playing with fire and nearly set fire to the house. So his pa taught him a lesson he wouldn't forget.
Poor lad. That's a terrible way to teach a child.
Why don't you smoke a whole pack of cigarettes?
It's been an interesting chat. Thanks, good wife.
Poor or rich, old or young, there's something here for everyone. Magical ointments, protective amulets, love potions and talismans.
With the innkeepers, you got anything for me to do?
God be with you.
No.
Take care.
Poor or rich, old or young.
This brave fella, Felix his name is, if we can get him to spend the night at the grave, he won't be alone. Wherever he goes, he always has 2 mates tagging along.
Like he's afraid to be alone.
Could be.
So, if we could get him there alone, it shouldn't be too hard to scare him.
Maybe, maybe not. He claims he's not afraid of anything.
That's easy to say. I'm not so sure. Only, we have to get rid of the other 2. What do you know about them?
One of them is afraid of wild animals. Won't even go into the woods on his own.
I see. And the other one?
Well, he's afraid of fire, but I doubt an ordinary campfire would do the trick.
Well, we'll think of something. Anyway, you take care of the first one.
How, though?
Haven't you learned anything from me? Talk to a dog.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Any particular one, Master?
The annoying
the
one?
most frightening one, of course.
And how am I supposed to recognise him? One looks the same as another.
By his bark, naturally. Can't you hear him? He'd scare the wits out of anyone.
That's a dog.
Either that or Satan in the guise of a beast.
All right. And what do I do with him?
Have a conversation with him and see if you can mimic his bark.
Yeah, great idea. People will think I'm barking mad.
Goodbye.
Alright.
Come on then. Bark.
It sounds like Bit Crush, like you'd hear this in a SNES game.
What a beast you are. All right, let's see. Ruff. Ruff. Again. Boo. Boo. Woo. Woo. Boo. 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 That's still not quite it.
I'm laughing too much to do it deep enough.
Yeah. That's it. And now I'm officially the village idiot.
He's gonna talk about the fucking human hand sitting right here, dog.
What's go?
Come closer, my friends. So, how did you get...
I found that mutt. Although from the noises it made, you'd hardly guess it was a dog.
So you've learned to bark?
I have, Master.
So bark.
I never thought I'd stoop so low. Moo! Moo!
Perfect.
But what if it's not enough?
Ah, ye of little faith. Besides, can you think of any other way?
If we want to have him there on his own, I could always knock the other 2 out.
And what if he finds them unconscious?
I can always haul them off somewhere he won't find them.
Just make sure you don't botch it, Henry. It could easily turn very sour.
Don't worry. But what about the other fella?
Ah, yes, apprentice. you have the good fortune to witness a genius at work. Watch and learn. An oil lamp.
An oil lamp?
Throw it like
Precisely.
a grenade?
Isn't it ingenious?
A marvellous invention, I grant you. But what do you want to do with it?
That's the clever part. I've hung a lamp like this over the Revenant's grave. All you have to do is shoot it down. It'll fall on the grave and burst into flames.
Well, that could work. Only...
Only what?
How can you be sure I'll manage to shoot it down?
I believe in you, Henry. You're my apprentice, versed in the ways of our craft.
Right, I almost forgot.
Anyway, you can practice. The lamp is already hanging up. It just hasn't been lit yet.
Aye, I'll give it a go. And then what?
Then you just have to goad our Felix into putting his money where his mouth is.
But what if he doesn't fall for it?
Refusing would ruin his credibility. Go and see him. I'll bet you anything, if you present it right, he'll jump at it.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Good. Don't delay, though. Practice with the lamp first, if you like, or just go straight to him.
Sure, I'll be fine. Fine enough. Fearless Felix? More like ballless Felix? Am I right?
I've heard there's a revenant haunting these parts.
Ah, you don't want to believe those old wives' tales.
Well, it's not true then.
Of course not. It's just a lot of fairy tales.
You're kind of sure of yourself, aren't you?
That I am. And what's it to you?
Nothing. It's just that, well, bold talk doesn't prove anything.
Are you saying I'm lying?
Well, can you prove your claims?
What?
Well, supposing you spent the night at that grave, like you say. That'd prove there's no revenant, wouldn't it?
You reckon so? I don't know.
Sounds like a pussy way of backpedaling. You man or a mouse?
Yeah, for sure. Besides, since you're so fearless, it'd be nothing to you, right?
Aye, that's right.
How about something to buck up your courage? Ah, probably not. You don't need it.
I don't, but it can't hurt.
Yeah, alright. Give him a little wine. And make him drink the fake blood.
Thanks, Em.
So when are you going to do it?
Just as soon as I can in the evening.
Right. And now you can... Shh! Quiet, Henry. You'll give us away.
Sorry. What's that you're wearing?
What do you think it is?
I don't know, some new fashion?
It's my Revenant costume, of course.
My apologies, Master.
It does look kind of fucked up.
You obviously
Like a
still have
lesson.
a lot to learn.
So did they come?
Yes, all three. They're camping at the top of the hill.
Right. I'll have time to get haunting then. Where do I start?
Hope I get that as a helmet. That'd be a sick reward.
The main thing is to scare off the two cronies first. I'll take care of fearless Felix.
So I'll scare one off with the lamp,
Yes, just make sure no one sees you shooting.
and the other one with fearsome noises.
That will probably take a few attempts. Ideally, a bit at a time.
Let him work up an appetite for more, so to speak.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Just don't give yourself away.
I won't, but if they do happen to see me coming...
Then you'd better vanish like a wisp of smoke, or make some excuse.
And what will you be doing?
I'll wait somewhere out of the way for a while, and then I'll crash in. So make sure the other two are gone by then.
All right.
Scaring, order for anyone if you sent, or if I am calls. Now you need to get close enough for him to hear you. Press X, you'll have to wait a while until your vocal cords rested. Okay. And I should take off my armor. There we go. Damn, his arm plates are noisy. Where's that oil lamp then? Alt. I'm not close enough for that to work. Follow me, you stupid horse. Ugh. I'm literally stuck. Ah! Can I mount up to get out of here, please? No? Yeah, we fucked up. Here comes the menu, it takes 10 minutes to open. Now, I think this game came out in 2018, says so right here. Thank you. It just got an update like a week ago. Finally has, I think it's Czech and Polish voice acting. Weird, considering that the studio is Czech. Like, you'd think that it would have had that from the beginning, at least. But they went for English first, probably because of the widest audience, but... Still, it's interesting that, what's that, like 5 years later, still gets an update. It was a massive update, too, man. Like, 25 gigs. I was wondering why my fucking computer was going so slow. It's because GOG was downloading an update in the background. I didn't even have GOG open. One who's afraid of fire hanging out up there. There's the lamp. Nice and shiny. Looks kind of scary on its own, don't you think? Ugh. That was close.
No! Jesus Christ!
Oh!
Hey, what was that? A wolf? No, it can't be a wolf.
Damn. He just used the normal sound. Not even Henry's silly bark.
Christ, that noise again. What the matter was? Probably nothing. Oh no, not again. No, please, God, no. I can't stand this. No, no, please, no. They're everywhere. They'll devour me. Jesus Christ, I've got to get away from here.
Rower!
That was something.
How did you like that, eh?
Wonderful! I haven't had so much fun since I dressed up as the Pope.
Did you see him run? Like all the demons of hell were on their heels.
One was quite enough, evidently.
So what now?
Now I just wait for my customers to turn up. Come and see me tomorrow before noon, and you'll get your well-earned reward.
Rower! Sir Viper! I thought I mounted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty time-consuming quest, actually. We're really at, like, just under 3 hours. It's like the whole dang session, dog. I guess the first hour was the tournament, so we got that done, but... goddamn. I was hoping to get through this whole quest line today. Maybe we will, though. And then this is all there is to it. Probably not, though. Sure, we'll have to go beat up that butcher or something. Something tells me this is gonna have at least an option for a not-so-happy ending.
Remedies.
Where's your hood at?
How are you?
About that recipe.
Yes, you want to buy it?
No.
God be with you.
Thought that I gotta wait more.
Salt!
Said before noon. He means afternoon.
Ah, my...
So, it all worked out then?
Like a dream. I didn't sell half as much in Sasau.
That's good news. Now, about that thing you promised me.
Your well-deserved reward, certainly. Here you have it.
What will you do now?
Well, I could leave. I've got just enough to cover my travel. But I'd be as poor as a church mouse in the next place, so I'd better wait and see if I can sell even more.
Well, at least I'll know where to find you.
Wow. You have to consider Henry's judgment when, see that he bought all of that. He did all that work for, the charlatan to give him a potion.
Let's talk about... What about this?
You won't convince me with that. See now...
Right, I replaced some of the meat. I should get something for that. Come on. Oh well.
Yeah.
Actus her hands. It also gave me the actual potion recipe, so it must be a new potion. Drop that egg. Nothing for me, though. I don't really need a horde of admirers following me on stealth missions. Okay, well, it sounds like it doesn't do anything for me. What if I did drink it, though?
Yeah.
See, my conscience is no longer clean. I did dig up a man's corpse and sell it. Kind of fucked up. Yeah, okay, he's in town.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
Watch what you're doing.
Ah! Watch what you're doing. Let's see, at the pub. Hello.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
Jesus Christ be praised.
I got you that potion from the charlatan.
What charlatan? He's a man of learning who even cured the Pope of impotence. But thanks, Henry.
Impotence.
Once I drink this potion, every woman will faint at my feet. But I'm only interested in one. The fairest creature on God's green earth.
Yeah, the butcher's daughter, I know. And then what?
A rendezvous. She and I, under the cloak of night.
Rendezvous.
And you shall be my
Rendezvous.
herald of exalted words.
You can spell it without
You will
us.
hide and prompt me from a book of poetry.
I'll do what?
What? You
Here's
fucking
a book of
hack.
poems. I'll need a little time to get ready. Meanwhile, you can learn some poems off by heart. You'll prompt me.
Learn poetry? Me? That sounds... well, not exactly...
Stop wasting time and get to it. Come back to me in a couple of hours. I have to get dressed up and groomed, and it'll take a while before the potion takes effect. See you later.
I'm pretty sure it'll be most potent as soon as you drop it on your sweaty pits. Alright, well, it looks like we're doing more stealth missions. I never should put my dang clothes back on. Mythology of love poems. Gentle night, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long, without her words to still my breast. Who shall set my soul to rest? And now my heart in sorrow dwells, from melancholic pining swells, since I, alas, was forced to part from the mistress of my heart. Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I yearn to see my love again. Oh, gentle sir, be of good cheer. I shall not be clinging to another dear. To love be forlorn is like night without a dawn. To be close with naught to say, like winter frost in May. To have lips and yet kiss not is like leaving grain to rot. To love without consummating is like unsown fields in the spring. I shall not love you then, my dear, as long as you lie me here. If you're not give your all to me, no longer shall I bide with thee. Well, that's not very romantic.
There's no end to this cleaning.
Says love without sex is trash. Ode to woman. Woman is the root of sin, and yet a virtuous deeds again. In Eden it was a woman's deed to pluck the apple from the tree. If you've no wealth to offer, you say she will scorn you and turn away. But once you promise her treasure, she says she'll love you forever. To murderous wrath she gives her birth, leaving no peace on this earth. Wounds inflicted by swords, cut less steeped in women's barbed words. Swords and words. And it's like if you pronounce sword wrong, like sword. Alright, I don't like that one. Go with Gentle Knight. Hopefully I get to pick him. Gentle Knight, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long, without her words still my breast. Who shall set my soul to rest? And now my heart sorrow dwells, melancholic pining spells, since I was forced to part from the mistress of my heart. Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain, I yearn to see my love again. Ah, gentle sir, be of good cheer, I shall not be clinging to another dear. Okay. Enjoying that dried chicken thigh. That's pretty gross.
About that affair of yours.
Henry, you don't pay attention to a word I say.
Ah, yes. In the evening. I was supposed to meet someone in the evening once. Didn't work out so well, Hans. So I reckon noon is just as good. Carpe diem in it. Sir Hans? Do you need a hand?
Henry!
Greetings, Henry.
Yeah, hello. Oh.
Is someone there?
I just...
What was that?
None?
Must be the wind.
Sir Hans. Oh shit, he's not in his room. The fuck? Is he upstairs? Is that even his room? Is he up here? I think this is his room.
Are you ready, Sir Hans?
Henry, something's gone wrong.
Open up.
That potion gave me ED.
That potion tasted rather odd, and now I have a feeling my face is broken out. How do I look?
You're imagining it, sir. You look as irresistible as ever, if not more.
But I feel as if I just fell face first into a nettle patch.
You're just a little flushed from the excitement. It'll pass.
If you're sure. So, what do you think? Can we go to the rendezvous?
Why wait? Carolina won't be able to resist you.
All right then. Lead on, Heart. And you, Henry, follow me.
He might have a little acne, I can't really tell with the lighting. Ah! Ah! Yeah, he does have a rash. I wonder if he'll spread it to her. Now, won't that be romantic? Nothing says to be with you forever, like a STD you don't wish to spread to the rest of the townsfolk.
Tell me, Henry.
Or, you know,
how many
child,
girls have you had
same
in your
thing.
life? If you've had any at all, that is.
Well, there's been a few, but I'm sure I can't compare with you.
Ha! Very true. One day plays will be written about my amorous adventures.
Comedies or tragedies?
That might depend on how things go tonight.
Right, I reckon Henry's got his body count up at 3 right now. And one of them is a royal MILF though, so that's pretty epic. She's gotta be worth at least 100 points.
There's another very pretty girl living in this house here, but she's already got a suitor.
When has that ever bothered you?
Since the time her fellow threw me headfirst into a dung heap and kicked my ass for good measure.
It seems your future subjects don't hesitate to take a stick to you when it comes to minding the women folk.
What's up,
I
the
doubt
audio
he would have done it
dog?
if he recognized me. I was, incognito.
Incognitus. Trying to... I can't say that.
We're almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise you might scare her off.
Hide, Henry. Time to get started. How do you know it's her who will come out and not someone else? She got the letter and necklace, didn't she? She knows that I'm... That is, her secret admirer is coming. And what am I supposed to do?
God, you're meeting in the dark.
Colt, prompt me from that book of poetry.
The bushes. I'm alright here, yeah.
I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life.
What?
Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my... God bless you. See you later. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see...
Where do you want me to hide, Hands? There aren't any fucking gravestones.
What's that?
Get a move on. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life.
Correction, there aren't any stones near him. Alright, here. An actual hiding space. I don't know why the fuck he said that. Thought he was supposed to go into the goddamn shed.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Believe me, you don't want to.
Fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start. How?
The rose by any other name would smell just as sweet, you fool.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Yeah, you didn't want to hear it.
Gentle night, why linger on? I yearn thus for my love so long. Without her words to still my breast, who shall set my soul to rest?
Gentle night, why linger on? I earned this from my love so long. Whip out your worthy silky breasts. Who shall suck my salty bits?
What?
And now now my heart in sorrow dwells, from melancholic pining swells, since I, alas, was forced to part from the mistress of my heart.
I know my horses sort of well. Some alcohol from 9 to 12. Seems I always have whores apart from the mistress of my heart.
Psst. What on earth are you saying?
What's that hissing?
It's, a feral goose here in the bushes.
Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I long to see my love again. O gentle sir, be of good cheer. I shall not cling to another dear.
Landlord, let me not wait in vain. I long to sing and laugh again. O gentle sir, get off your chair. I shall not bring you another beer.
Jesus, Henry! What kind of yokel nonsense are you babbling? Me? You're the one who's babbling?
You're an odd one. I've never heard such peculiar poetry in my life. Where on earth did you come up with it?
Original. Blame the French.
It's fashion in France. You've done enough harm. Better shut up and leave it to me.
How did you like it, dearest?
Ah, how tender you are.
Jesus Christ. The damn common women think any poetry is as good as good poetry.
Father is coming! Hide!
I'm to suck your salty bits.
I'll gut with my filleting knife.
I didn't hear anyone.
Did you hear what he said? No, I have a bad feeling about this, Hans. I think we should...
Are you still there?
Still here, my love. How could I have apart from you?
Father's coming! He'll kill you!
He will not. Because it'll never cross his mind where I'll be. Henry, it's time for me to claim my prize. Whatever happens, cover my back.
Claim your prize.
You, sir. Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Buy me time.
You got some explaining to do, you bastard.
It wasn't me. I'm just the groundskeeper. Or that, or this is a fist fight.
What are you after? You bastard sneaking around an honest citizen's house in the dark?
Well, I'm in the church.
I went to mourn over the grave of my great-grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Then what are you doing right beneath my window, eh?
No, the question is, why are you trampling on great-granny's grave, eh?
Your horse shit. One more word, and I'll have you.
You really came.
How could I not, my dearest?
Whoa.
Not so fast, Prince Charming. But, since you're here...
Hey, what was that?
Well, I think the neighbours are being a bit rowdy. Nothing to worry about.
I could have sworn it was from inside my house.
Well, what's that got to do with me?
Someone's been creeping around after my daughter. I come out, and I find you here. Quite a coincidence, eh? So, out with the truth.
You're quite
Not me.
I've never laid eyes on your daughter, and if she looks anything like you, I'd rather keep it that way.
Damn.
Why, you fucking...
Mon petit lapin.
There's a lace here.
Don't make me listen to this, please.
Don't try
Not
to
in
make
public.
it fun of me. I heard it clearly. What was that?
Are you all right? It seems to me you're hearing things other folk can't hear. That's not good.
You're saying I'm hearing voices in my head?
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sent Euphrosyne of Polotsk heard voices too, and she found in a monastery and churches and things.
I heard voices
And things.
too. Well, could have been voices. I wouldn't swear to it, though.
Look, fellas, I was standing right here, and I didn't hear a thing. Do you take me for a madman?
Whatever you are, I want to know what you're doing under my daughter's window and who was talking to her. I heard it clear as day.
Good neighbour, it can't be denied that old age dulls a man's ears. I'm here alone, praying for the souls of the good people resting in the cemetery. I've nothing to do with your daughter.
That voice sounded different to yours, though. But where
Oh,
did
it's
you
'cause it
get
wasn't
to?
mine.
You must have seen him. Unless you're covering for him.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Pretty sure she's covering him right now.
Oh, Christ almighty. It's haunted here. I knew I should never have come near this cemetery at night.
The only one doing any haunting here is you. And I'm done wasting time with you. I'll beat you to a pulp, and then that other bastard. You'll get the hiding of your life.
You what? You dare challenge Sir Henry of Skalitz? They call me the head cracker around here. You be writing plays after me.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Miss.
That tussle I had with the King of Mice. And the sissy boy you hit like a sugar plum fairy.
Boa, yeho.
You speaking Spanish?
You gonna cry now?
Fuckers. Best be on me way then. Torch is out. What, he just like pump and dump? He's already back home? Yeah, man, he is exhausted. Rough night, huh?
Greetings. What do you need?
Hit and run, classic. Supposed to see him in the morning.
See you later.
In the morning.
What the?
And the thing happened. I can see like a little exposition happening after this, but he has met with his woman. So maybe that was the end of this quest line. I don't know. And the two quests leading up to it were interesting, I suppose. Like, this wasn't the worst thing in the world. I just wish it wasn't about getting your boy laid. If it was a little funny.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
You're having trouble sleeping, so you just use the other bed?
How did it go with Carolina, Sans?
Henry,
I
was
busted
the
all
most
over her.
wonderful night of my life. She was completely entranced by my courting. I hardly had to touch her, and she melted in my arms. And then she took me to paradise. It was glorious. It was sublime. Thanks, in part, to you, my faithful henchman and messenger of love. You've earned your reward.
It was an honor, Sir Hans. When are you going to see her again?
Oh, I'm not going to see her again. All beautiful things must come to an end, and, after all, I am a nobleman, and she is the butcher's daughter.
Wow, you're
Well, that's
scum.
how it ends with the love of your life. After the secret gifts, the letters, the intrigues, reciting poetry in the moonlight.
My
Post not
eloquence was
clarity,
wasted
bro.
on her, Henry. Imagine, the silly cow couldn't even read. She returned the letter to me unopened. Here's the letter, Henry. Read it. At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent. Read and learn from a poet. Take care.
Oh, alright. How are the nips still hands? They're never what you imagine, aren't they? Oh boy. My sweetest, I am yours, most devoted secret admirer. Secret for until I know you long for me as I do for you, I shall not make myself known to you. But once we know each other, then my beloved poppet, fucking guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. I shall caress your tits, and then I shall seek out the treasure from you have carried with you since birth. For there is no lovelier creature than you. It's hunting maidenheads, eh? I only have to think of you and I raise a battle tent, the likes of which even Sigismund would envy. You must be mine and none others. I shall take you to paradise and back. You shall meet all the angels in heaven and call out to God more loudly than ever before. I want you to feel like no woman has ever felt before. Put on this necklace tomorrow and I shall know that I shall come to you in the night and slip inside your secret garden. Your most ardent secret admirer. What is this drivel? You're just saying that you're gonna slam her. You know how many times she gets that in the tavern, bro?
And well, I'm sure we can come to some agreement, your lordship.
Well, bearing in mind, Master Butcher, that we have nothing to come to agreement about yet.
Well, yes, sir. Well, I mean, no, sir. Well, I mean, I thought I ought to let you know what happened. Like, my daughter's good name could be dragged through the mud. And his young lordship's too, of course.
Well, only if she should find us... Only if she should find herself with a permanent reminder.
Oh, well, that could happen yet, sir, couldn't it? I mean, if her belly starts to grow. You know how word gets around, and, well, folk would assume that Sir Hans is the father, even if some other young fellow was to come along in the meanwhile, and, well, you know, and we already know, the girl can't be watched.
Are you trying to blackmail me? Have you forgotten that I am the lord of this town, and that you are nothing but a stinking butcher?
Oh, God forbid, sir. I'm just thinking of his young lordship's reputation, and my girl's. But, of course, if his young lordship was to recognize the bastard as his own, and pay for his upbringing...
You can thank your lucky stars you're the only butcher around here. Otherwise, I'd have you out on your ear this very day.
But, sir, I'm only...
Here, take this, you damn scoundrel, and never show your face here again.
Kick him in the face as he bends down to pick it up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
Blasted fool Capon. I'll wring his neck. I'll have his balls on a platter!
I wish there was more Hanish. Yeah, I guess that's, how that ends. Very inconsequential. again, the two quests leading up to it, like the whole Revenant bullshit and the gambling adventure, those are fun. Depends how much you like dice, but those are fun. I'm sure there are other ways to handle that. You got some comedic relief at the end. That was alright. Again, probably not something I would have purchased, but like for it to be included in the whatever edition you buy, it's good. Fine. So yeah, it looks like we get to move back on to main quest stuff next time. We got ourselves a save, and we are going to wrap this up. And yeah, seen like 2-3 more sessions probably. I'm gonna shoot for 2. I'm pretty sure we've got all the side quests done, or we have the masquerade thing we can do if we want. I don't know. I mean, it's nearby, I guess. Can't be too hard to just go beat up some humans, like, forever here in it. I was gonna mark it in my journal, but we already saved, so it won't mean anything. Yeah. I will see you guys in a week, hopefully. I don't know, my schedule doesn't look too terrible. So, yeah. Probably a week. Wednesday, Thursday type thing. That seems to be the most common off days for me, at least, even though I don't pick any specifically. And that's all I've got for you. We'll probably be able to talk about Hogwarts Legacy next time. I feel like I'm pretty close to being finished. We've already got the drama part out of the way, so we won't have to taint that. And bye-bye, everyone. Don't pump and dump. That's messed up. I'm watching you.